Have you ever been in one of these situations? You are in a restaurant and served a dish. The waiter tells you to enjoy the food and you reply with, "You too." Or when you pretend to call an imaginary friend on the phone just to avoid your colleagues that happens to be in the same grocery store. Or thinking what others might think of me if I don't pretend and prove myself to others. So you end up fumbling in front of everybody while your face turns red, then decide never to speak again in public. Or even when you try to pick a food sample served in a booth, but suddenly the promoter covers the plate and tells you it's not ready yet in front of your family. Then you pretend there's nothing had happened, but it's getting even more awkward. In these moments, you wish there was a hole to bury your head or throw yourself rather than dealing with it completely. The good news, there is always a solution for that. In this video, I'm gonna tell you how to deal with them step by step, so you end up becoming much more confident in yourself and less awkward. Step 1. Own it. Don't fight it. Even the weird stuff. First off, let's get one thing straight. Being awkward isn't a crime. You're not gonna be arrested by the social skills police, and even if they did exist, trust me, they would have way worse things to deal with than you fumbling in a meeting or saying "you too" to a waiter. Own your awkwardness. Wear it like a badge of honor. The more you try not to be awkward, the more awkward you become. Try not to think about pink elephant. And now you're thinking about it, right? Next time in a social situation and you feel the awkwardness creeping in, just go with it. Oh, did I just trip over absolutely nothing? Classic me. Trust me, people will either laugh with you or completely forget about it in just 2 minutes. The only person who's keeping score is you. And let me tell you this, your scoreboard is completely useless. Step 2. Start small. Look, you don't need to walk into a party like you're the lead actor in a rom-com who just delivered the best one-liner of all time. You're not that guy. You don't need to be. Start small. You know how babies starts walking by holding onto furniture? Socializing is kinda like that. You start by holding onto safe stuff. Try talking to the cashier when you're buying your snacks. Maybe ask, "How your day going?" Boom, conversation is started. It's low pressure, and even if it goes nowhere, you can walk away with your snacks like nothing happened. Think of these interactions as social push-ups. You're building up your strength, one conversation at a time. Before you know it, you'll be flexing those social muscles like you just hit the conversational gym. Step 3. Focus on them, not you. Let's talk about the number one cause of awkwardness. You're stuck in your own head. You're probably overthinking everything you say, like, "Was that joke funny?" Or, "Did I commit social suicide?" People aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. Most people are more focused on themselves, so the trick is to focus on them. Ask questions. Be curious. "Oh, you have a dog? What kind? You've been to Japan? Tell me more." People love talking about themselves. It's like free therapy. And guess what? While they're talking, you can just nod, smile, and occasionally throw in a "No way! That's awesome!" Congratulations. You just had a conversation without being awkward. Gold star to you. Step 4. perfect conversation does not exist. You know, the idea about having the perfect conversation, just throw it out of the window. Real life isn't a movie where dialogue between two characters flows perfectly and everyone says the right thing at the right time. Sometimes people interrupt each other. There are awkward pauses, and yes, sometimes you accidentally call your male boss ma'am. Stop putting pressure on yourself to have flawless interactions. Conversations are like a buffet. You don't need to love every single dish. Some parts will be amazing, others will be questionable. But it's all a part of the experience. So if there is a pause, don't panic. What about awkward silence, right? That's just a natural part of a conversation flow. You can fill it with a question or wait for it. Just let the other person talk. Mind blown, right? Step 5. Laugh off awkward moments. Here's a quick story. Once I was in a room full of people and I saw somebody waving. I waved back at him, but apparently it wasn't for me. At the moment, I wish I could just simply vanish. But you know what? Nobody cares, except me. In hindsight, it's hilarious. That's the thing about awkward moments. They're only as big of a deal as you make them. Next time you say something awkward, don't collapse. Instead, just laugh it off. Oops, that came out weird. You can say it with smile. Boom, awkward moments diffused. You're human, and humans do awkward stuff all the time. In fact, people will appreciate your ability to roll with the punches. It's like turning minor social fumble into a touchdown dance. Step 6. Fix your body language. Body language, my friend, is half the battle. If you walk into a room with shoulders hunched, arms closed, and avoiding eye contact, people gonna assume you don't wanna be there. But even if you feel awkward inside, you can trick your brain by changing how you physically show up. Straighten those shoulders, lift your chin up, and please smile. You don't have to look like in a toothpaste commercial, but a little smile goes a long way in making you seem approachable. And practice eye contact, not in a creepy molester way, but just a casual glance here and there. You will look confident, even if you're screaming inside. Step 7. Get comfortable with silence. Let's talk about silence. You hate it, I know that. It feels like the awkward pause is sucking the life out of you. But do you know that silence is actually your friend? It is like a comma in a sentence. They give you time to think and give the other person a chance to regroup. Next time there is a pause, don't panic. Try to fill it with the random word vomit. Embrace it. Let it linger. You'll find the conversation often picks up naturally. And no one's sitting there and thinking, whoa, this guy must be awkward because he let 5 seconds of silence happen. Step 8. Put yourself out there. Listen, I get it. You want to be less socially awkward, but Netflix and snacks are calling your name. If you really want to improve, you've got to get out there. The only way to get better at socializing is by socializing. Mind blowing. I know. Start small. Go to that party or event, even if it's just for 30 minutes. Join a club or take a class. The more you expose yourself to social situations, the more comfortable you'll become. And remember, no one is expecting you to walk in like you're hosting a talk show. Just show up, practice, and take the pressure off yourself. Step 9. Be your own best friend. Be nice to yourself. You're not gonna nail every interaction, and that's totally fine. There is no medal for best conversationalist, but if there was, you wouldn't need to win it. You're growing, you're learning, and you're making progress. When you have a day where everything feels awkward, laugh it off and remind yourself that it's just a rehearsal for being a better version of yourself. The world is full of people who feel just as awkward as you do. They're just better at hiding it. Stopping social awkwardness isn't about turning into a social genius overnight. It's about owning your awkwardness, practicing little by little, and not taking yourself too seriously. At the end of the day, you've got this. And even if you still occasionally wave at people who aren't waving at you, well, welcome to the club. If you like this video, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and the subscribe button. See you next time.